Hello, my name is Brendan, and welcome to my explanation and thoughts on close or immediate family. I thought, what better place to start than with your family? That's where your life begins, and that's hopefully where your life will end up, and you'll continue to have that close family with you for your whole life. So, personally, my family, my close family unit, it started out just because I'm the first child of my parents, so it was just my mother, my father, and eventually 3.5 years later, my sister. So my initial family was fairly close knit. We're really relatively small family in comparison to others. Still had many of our extended relatives. We're all living in the same city, Canberra at the time. And so currently my close part of my family is actually a little bit smaller than it used to be, being that I'm living currently with my son, who's 4.5 years old, and my wife, who is who's still with me, thankfully. So basically, when I talk about close family or your immediate family, it's really, really important to recognize the importance of them. So it was something I kind of took for granted when I was growing up, and that probably didn't have good effects in the end, being that I'm not as close to my original close immediate family as I used to be, being that I've had to move around Australia a whole lot to find jobs and be with my new immediate family. So even though I'm still relatively close with my sister and my mother as well, being that we're in completely different parts of Australia can make it very difficult to kind of like keep that closeness alive. And I have definitely been guilty in the past of just letting things slide and just recognizing that being comfortable within your home and with your family, being somewhere nearby sometimes is enough, and other times it probably should be expanded upon. There are plenty of times when you can just like be there with your family and just be yourself, but there are other times when it's probably a good idea to go to your parents, go to your sister, and just talk about what they like. Just find out about them, find out how they work, what they like, tell them what you like. Sorry, I've got my wife spamming me on my phone here at the moment. So she's someone who I can always rely on to talk to. And so it's definitely a bit of an isolating prospect, only having two really close family members. The larger the family you grow up with, I suspect the more that closeness kind of gets diluted, which isn't to say that you would love your family less if you had more family to actually love. It's probably more likely to be the opposite, and or having all your close family members nearby is probably going to be an overabundance of love coming from various sources. So it can be a little bit isolating only having a couple of close family members to rely on. But anyway, as for useful information on close families, I just have to reiterate: keep them close, keep talking to them, keep communicating. Just being there, being next to your family, giving them hugs occasionally. Never forget that your family is there. They're always there for you. You should always be there for them. Of course, if you're not lucky enough to have a family who is supportive of you, I really feel for you, because that's really a hard thing to deal with. But anyway, so that's my thoughts on close family, and so I'm not sure what the next topic will be, but we'll have to see, and I hope to see you there.